And that's basically it. Oh, no. Also, they talked to the creepy spider people. Who look wow. My cat is getting into everything. Not.
I do, but am I really echoey?
No, we can just kind of hear ourselves.
Locations. Oh, there they are. These guys. They turned out to be pretty cool. The party traded what was it? Traded schematics to the ancient Azlanti ship in trade for information on a suitable merchant vessel, basically what its flight plan is. And they also gave a couple of upgrades, or a couple of items. Ow, cat. Stop it.
Who is going to be doing the surgery again?
I think that was Ross.
If you disconnect that, we will drop from the internet, cat. That's not allowed. Okay, I'm gonna go get the squirt bottle. He can't play with our router.
Destroyer of worlds.
Just missing a Ross. I suppose we have a backup.
I like to think that this Ross is Ross Prime.
Rostimus Prime.
Enjoy that you're Ross too, and then we also Ross.
Well, I didn't, you know, we gotta be on equal footing, right?
Yes, I appreciate the.
Oh, they don't. Okay.
Hey guys. Not a whole lot.
Hey, it's a 20.
Good or bad? What do you?
That's not a 20. Oh, I'm just idly rolling.
Oh, okay. So
These are not attack rolls.
Sorry, my default is to get nervous when the DM inexplicably starts rolling dice.
I will say, I was hoping that my Alien Archive 3 would ship. No. Yeah, so I can look. I'm a subscriber, so I'm not going to bother checking the forums, but they're shipping soon. The street date is like the 25th or something. 28th. Yeah, it'll have the otter guys, and I think the raptors with laser guns who wear, oh, what is it? They wear their soul. Was it souls as jewelry? It's obviously written by Crystal Frazier because it's magic. It's amazing. She also wrote, like, I don't know, the Skittermanders. Yeah. And she developed what is probably my favorite first edition adventure path, which is War for the Crown. But that's because I like political intrigue.
Oh, they're carrying guns. I thought the spider was carrying a stapler at first.
No, they are definitely pirates. Yeah, which you might find out a little bit more about if you.
It's clearly a
read
red
the
stapler.
pad.
It's probably a swing line. Yes.
Yep.
Go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Graham. I play Murphy on ReallyPlayingGames Starfinder Against the Aeon Throne. I come before you today to make a formal apology. Last week, I opened the show with a very loud and annoying Mario bit, and I think as a punishment for doing that, the stream audio decided to jump off a bridge. And for that, I am truly and deeply sorry. I don't know if I can continue with these inane and stupid bits going forward into the future, but I ask for privacy and respect during this difficult time for me and my family. Thank you. No further questions.
Hi, this is Brian. I'm back from Japan, and I play Shardik, the techno bear mage something uplifted. I don't remember anymore. It's been a while.
This is Garrett. I play Zyson, the Kasatha Solarian.
I'm Ross. I play Yulia, the Vlaco Witch Warper.
I'm also Ross. I play Ozzy, the Ahsoka mechanic, and his robot minion Bobber.
And I am Patrick. I am the game master. I apologize for nothing, particularly not murdering all of these players today, which is definitely going to happen. Last week, hey, we actually get to play 2 weeks in a row. It's great. Last week, the party finally met Talmarin, who I think is cute and fuzzy, and Graham Murphy apparently thinks is horrifying. They finally were able to ask her to please fix this thing with your ship that lets all the Azlanti know that you're from the Pact Worlds. She agreed, but she had, 1, some information, and 2, a price. So the information is just not standing out of the Pact Worlds ship is not good enough. You need to be a ship that is expected to show up to the prison colony. So she recommended that you find some way to locate a transport of some kind. Maybe it's bringing prisoners. More likely, it's bringing cargo because prison moons don't produce a lot of food and laser bolts and whatever it is prison moons need. So there will definitely be one at some point. She recommended you find one, acquire it, give her the cargo, whatever that might be, and she will help you install the transponder. And she will fix your engines. She also requested that you please rescue 3 of her friends, associates, friends, she didn't really say, who are currently locked up on the prison moon of Gulta. She gave you a couple of suggestions of people who might be able to help you find a ship, and you did just that. You followed her suggestion to go talk to the, what are they called? They're listed as crystalline gamblers.
The Glimshaw.
Glimshars. Glimshar pirates, as it turns out, who I also think are cute, and nobody thinks are cute because they look like spiders.
They remind me of the spiders, the spider creatures from Santa Clarita Diet.
Seen
that show? I don't know. I don't know if I will.
I do not get the reference, but
it reminds me of like a colored ink drawing from Gamel, the Scary Stories guy.
Ryan, do you have an obscure reference that these things remind you of?
It's not
Scary
that
Stories is
obscure,
now-
but like the exploding spiders from Diablo 3.
okay, yeah.
I don't feel bad because apparently no one else watched Santa Clarita Diet.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Rest in peace.
I've heard good things about it.
It was a really fun show.
And it got canceled.
So the party traded information on an interesting ship that they found crashed in the previous book to these pirates who were very interested in ships and ship designs. They traded that information for a data pad that had information on a freighter that is in fact scheduled to deliver supplies to Gulta here in the near future. So far, you know that it is expected to jump out of the drift in about 8 hours. You can certainly do a little more reading and investigation if you would like to find out more. What would you like to do?
Alrighty. First things first, and I whip out my ability crystal.
Also,
Get juice.
very important, Shardik spent the entire last session showering because he was gross.
Yes. Filthy, stinky, stinky bear.
Well, not anymore. Now a very clean bear.
Now you are.
And he's like shampooed and everything.
Oh, just conditioned all of his fur.
Exactly. It's like,
Soft.
that's
Very
like
shiny.
glossy.
Nice. So, a couple things. Point of order. I'd like to use this crystal to enhance my abilities. And because I think we should probably try to enter the drift to pursue this thing. I don't know if we want to wait the full time for it to reach its destination and exiting the drift, which will probably be close to the prison moon and maybe some complications there. I think if we make a desperate gambit to enter the drift and find it, then perhaps we can isolate it and disable it before it reaches its destination. What say
Now,
you all?
Oh,
I don't
Ozzy,
think it works that way.
I will not fault you on this
make
because
me a piloting check. Piloting mysticism. Okay, yeah, it doesn't.
I will not fault you this because you are not an engineer, but that is a really bad idea that will never work.
You could definitely jump into the drift. It is possible that you could run on them, but 2 points points in the drift do not like one-to-one align. They move around.
And what's more is that it's not going to pop out of the drift right outside of the prison moon. It's going to be popping out somewhere in the system and then flying. Its course is going to take it through that area that the Glimshar pirate said that it would.
Ozzy probably has to draw pictures to explain this to Murphy.
Is there like a beacon around or something?
There is, there is sort of a location that is typical for people to come out of the drift. You would have used one of those. That's pretty common. If you want to take some time to examine the data pad, you may get a little bit more information on exactly what is planned.
Why don't we bring this back to Shardik? He's probably, fresh and ready now, all squeaky clean, can take a look at this data pad and tell us what the best course action is.
Yeah, he can also cast a spell and be able to speak the language that it's in, so there's that.
That too.
Instead of having to go through your friend up here who really doesn't want to be involved, actually.
Yeah.
Some friend they are.
Yep, that sounds good.
Back to the ship.
Okay.
You rush back to the ship, and just as you walk in, Shardik is emerging from his room, not just washed, but also dried, dressed, such as you are as a bear.
Got a hairdryer going. That's one glamorous bear.
Never forget that he wears a skin suit. Can't stop envisioning the little poofs of hair around it.
Sticks out at the top. Oh god, it's a great visual. I'd point the tablet over to Shardik. All right, you help us with this. We're going to find an attack plan to take down a freighter. If anyone needs me, I'm going to be in my room with my crystal.
Okay.
How long does it take to
1 hour.
Be sure to wash your hands afterward.
Kind of hiss at Ozzy a little bit. I run up to my room and begin the hour-long process of interacting with the ability crystal.
All right.
It's 50 minutes, we should go bother him.
Dig.
So, Shardik, why don't you make me a computers check?
Can I aid?
Absolutely. Okay.
Show off.
24 is excellent. It's very interesting. How did these guys acquire this flight plan? So this ship is called the Relic. It is a transport. The notes indicate that it is armed. You don't have schematics for it. You don't actually know exactly what its cargo is. The Glimshars, you can tell, seem to think that there are valuable things on it. It is the flight plan is for it to emerge from the drift in about 8 hours. It will then take about 12 hours for it to get to a particular location where it is rendezvousing to exchange some cargo with a second cargo ship. At that point, it will then enter the drift again to go to Gulta.
Which is what the prison planet.
Which is where, yes.
Okay.
So it has to make a stop in the system to exchange cargo?
Yes.
And then it's going to jump into the drift again after that to get to the...
Yes. So
For us.
This is obviously a little bit of an impediment, but it means that you have some time. It would be bad if it jumped into the system, and then immediately just spooled up again and jumped to Gulta. That you would have very little time to do anything. So you've got about 8 hours to plan, and then 12 hours once it comes in to figure out or to actually do whatever your plan is. Or you could wait until after they make the handoff. You don't know. It doesn't seem to be immediately jumping into the drift, but you don't know how much time you're going to have after that handoff.
Do we know where the handoff is going to be?
Yes, it is in. I mean, it is in a location in the system. It is somewhat close to Outpost Z, but it's not scheduled to go to Outpost Z.
Right.
I mean, we should definitely try to do it after the handoff. I mean, then we're minimizing the number of interactions.
Yeah. And
Or we
know
can-
what's supposed to be handed off.
we can take over the
No, you
ship
don't.
it's supposed to be doing the handoff with, and then from there, when it does the handoff, we can board their ship and attack them that way.
So we take over 2 ships, is what you're saying.
That's a possibility. You would have to get to the rendezvous point and hope that your target gets there second. The datapad does not. They didn't. They apparently were not planning. It looks like they were maybe just planning to jump the thing as soon as it came out, or maybe they were just studying it. Maybe, yeah. Actually, you kind of get the impression that they were doing this kind of as an academic exercise to allow them to eventually attack a different ship. But yeah, they don't actually have any information on the other ship other than that it is supposed to be there. So it would be difficult. You don't know where it's coming from or what ship it is. If you could somehow identify it, maybe, sure.
How long would it take to get to this meeting place?
You can get there in about an hour. You're only about an hour out.
Can you? Is our ship capable of like docking with their ship and us boarding?
Yeah. Your ship does have ship-to-ship docking capabilities.
Do we have a way to disable them without blowing them up?
Want to use nukes?
We have our fancy laser.
Yeah, sort of by the rules, generally, when you knock a ship to 0 hull points, it is disabled and not destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why all parties do not instantly die when they lose a ship combat.
So we just need the cargo and like the well, it's something else.
The transponder. You need the
The
transponder.
transponder, yeah.
But if we disable the ship, the people on the ship are still going to be alive.
right.
So we would then have to disable them, and then we could take the transponder and
Or
the
we
cargo
could just coerce or bribe them.
and then dispose of the ship. The Azlanti don't seem to be bribable.
Well, these aren't proper Azlanti from my understanding of it. I think that they are basically just hired contractors.
They are. It is in naval speak. It is Azlanti flagged. The people running it are probably Azlanti people. But this is not a military vessel.
Well,
Do
I
they
think
have
that
a way to radio the moon or something if we attack them? Is that like a possible thing?
What, that they would use their communications to send a distress signal? That's exactly
They
what
would-
you would do if somebody attacked you randomly, right? In the Pact
Right,
world.
but does the distress signal go straight to? Like, can they send a direct message to the moon to say, "Hey"?
well, it
What if
wouldn't
we do-
be
what if-
instantaneous.
Stealthy style, what if we can stow away with the cargo they're trading off for, get loaded onto the ship, and then take it down from within?
Right,
We-
that adds more steps to the plan.
So first, so again, first they attack the other ship. That was kind of my plan.
But then the other ship sends out a distress signal
Right.
and warns the ship that we're about to board that they're compromised. I mean, we could try to say, "Oh, everything's good." You know, the Han Solo thing. There's no emergency down here. Everything's fine. Everything's clear.
Ah,
That worked very well.
if only we had thought to salvage the signal jammer from the Condus.
Oh,
Wasn't it like massive or something?
Our ship is massive.
our ship big.
It would have fit on a spaceship. Yep.
Would it have? We could have put a signal jammer on it.
It's not in the book, but I would have let you. Sure.
Oh, that
That would have been sick.
useful.
Would have been perfect for this.
That would have been for a lot of things. Let's go back.
As it is, it was probably completely disassembled, split into 1,000 pieces, and used in the upgrade of your ship. I mean, you couldn't put it back together again. You'd have to, like, I don't know, take down your nukes or something.
Impossible.
Disable the computer and the nukes.
So maybe we do. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's one of my first instinct was to fake a distress signal, but that wouldn't work.
I mean, they're not gonna. I don't know if they would even stop for a distress signal.
Yeah. Especially not if they're like card carrying Azlanti. Signal jammer would be good, but I think that might be outside of the realm of possibility for something that we can make within 12 hours.
Is it something we can buy? Are they super expensive? I imagine.
Imagine they're not entirely legal. Although we're in a good place to find that kind of stuff.
Is that inside the realm of possibility, Patrick?
You actually have not seen any starship parts for sale here. It doesn't seem to be something that this station specializes in. In fact, about the only person you've talked to that has much to do at all with starships is Talmrin.
Right. Does Talmrin have any ideas?
Yeah, you can ask her. Let me see if she has any written, or I just make something up. She says that, and I'm not going to try and do her medieval talk again. She says, I'm just going to roll a d4 here. Okay. She asks you what kind of plans you're doing this by text. She asks you what kind of plans you're considering.
Considering attacking the other ship and trying to infiltrate the relic that way. Trying to attack the relic directly.
After the handoff is made.
Yeah. We're trying to send out a distress signal and seeing if they would come help.
She expresses a preference for not blowing up the cargo that you have promised to give her.
Right.
By shooting the ship. She says, if you think you can be convincing, Azlanti civilians might respond to a distress call or something of the like. You just have to be convincing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it could work if we were convincing, and then they would send a search party over to check out our ship, and then we could cold clock them and move over.
We have to get lucky, I think. Because, as soon as we attack a search party, they could just radio back to the main ship or whatever. So we'd have to get lucky that we could attack them beforehand.
Incidentally, there's a picture of the relic. It looks like this.
Neat.
So do we want to try the distress beacon plan, or do we want to try boarding the other ship? Or I guess we would have to wait and see if it even showed up first. That was the issue with that, right? Was that
Right.
we weren't sure how to get with the other ship. So a distress beacon ourselves might be the only way to go. What does everybody else think?
It's only an hour to the rendezvous point, correct?
Yes.
Could we fly out there and do a little reconnaissance? Get the
Sure.
lay of the land.
Sure can.
Empty space.
So you were doing this?
Yeah,
Is this the
let's
plan?
do that. After Murphy gets his 1 hour.
To upgrade his... you're upgrading your charisma, right? Definitely your charisma, Murphy? To make sure you are the prettiest cat?
I'm already the prettiest cat. Want to go fast? I want that 20 dexterity.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
I mean,
Dexterity doesn't make you any faster. It just makes you more precise, right?
just to save
Dodge shit.
our time, I could pilot us out there. As long as we're not expecting to get ambushed. Or at least get started while
Yeah, I mean, if we
Murphy's
do, then
doing
we
this
can
thing.
just pull Murphy out of his room and drag him up to the the front.
He is sort of like gazing into a magic item. It's possible he wouldn't even notice.
Oh.
Yeah, let's have Ozzy then. If Ozzy feels confident enough.
I feel confident.
Do you have 3 ranks in piloting?
I sure do.
Okay, good, because you got to make a piloting check to get there.
All right, cool.
Not a particularly hard one, but
That's good.
You got
All right.
this.
a 16 is good enough to make it there in an hour. So you arrive at the coordinates, and it's pretty simple. It's just it's a not even a big. I mean, it's an asteroid. It's big, meaning that it's like 1 kilometer diameter. Which is a pretty big asteroid. You would not want that to hit your home planet. But you can also walk across it pretty quickly. And this is apparently, I mean, you don't know if they're going to go down onto the asteroid and meet in person, or if it's just kind of a vague landmark they're using. But there is this big asteroid.
So in our time there, have I completed my attunement to the ability
You
crystal?
have.
Yes!
You have. You can add your 2 dexterity.
Dexterity. I'm invincible. Nothing bad can happen to me now.
So you have like a plus 78 to your acrobatics checks now.
Plus a 10. All right, I come out of my room, just kind of like tweaked a little bit, like, oh, I feel great. Oh, I feel so quick, so great, so agile. Get out of that pilot seat.
You feel
Wait, hold on, I need to
literally,
adjust it.
No, get it.
literally
Come on.
magically better.
The magic is within me. I can feel it coursing through my veins. I have to pilot.
You sit down and like the side mirrors are all wrong. And
Yeah,
the
he has
mirrors,
to
like...
he has to scoot the chair back.
God, you're so small. All right. All right. Where's the ship? And blow it out of the sky. Let's go.
We aren't going to be blowing up any ships.
Oh, fun.
It's probably best if we're going to send out a distress signal. We probably want to. We have to shut off all the engines, right? And just kind of drift silently with just the distress beacon, right? That's going to be the best way. And how far does a distress beacon broadcast?
I mean, it definitely is. I mean, they can send a broadcast. The idea is they would send a broadcast through the drift. So, infinite? How big is the drift?
So whenever a ship sends out a distress signal, every place...
A distress signal is not any different from sending your birthday wishes to your grandmother back at home from halfway across the galaxy, which you can do. So they are not popping out a discrete item from their ship that is a distress beacon. They are using their communications equipment in the same way that any other ship would use their communications equipment. There's nothing special that you know of about this other than it would be bad to tell the people you're coming. You assume.
No, I'm just saying for us, like would like other people we don't want, like possibly show up?
No. You can just transmit same way. So most of these transmissions are point to point. You can do a wave if you want to, but you have no reason to do that. I guess maybe it would make it more believable if you do send out a help to everyone. That's up to you.
So maybe we sit a ways off, but still in visual range of the rendezvous point, and then when a ship jumps in, we send out the distress signal to them. That way it's like, oh, the first ship we see, oh, we sent one out to, or something like that.
I had a thought. Is is the relic equipped for a airlock to airlock handoff? Because it seems like an awfully small ship. It seems like that would be.
You.
It doesn't even look like a freighter to me.
Yeah, you would not know. They don't have that information. Make a culture check.
Okey-dokey.
Maybe make it an engineering.
Ooh, I can aid you in the engineering one.
18. Let's see if you can get him to a 20. Yeah. It would be very surprising if a cargo freighter of some kind did not have that. Because, yeah, I mean, usually you have an airlock that's designed for docking with a space station of some kind. But it's not uncommon to just exchange cargo ship to ship. It does have some notes like on the side to look at this. It is yeah, I mean their ship is about the size. It's a little smaller than your ship, actually. It is
Okay.
It's a little smaller than you, but big enough for 2 or 3 cargo bays.
Yeah, so I guess we sit off to the side, distress beacon, and then the first one that shows up, because we can't wait for one to show up. I don't know, wait for a second ship to show up before sending out a distress beacon, right? That wouldn't be believable.
What's going to be our story? Is it that like our
Well, I
engine is
think-
broken down and we're stranded on this asteroid by happenstance? Like, how are we gonna? What exactly is our bluff?
Pirates, right?
Yar.
We were attacked by pirates.
Oh. I thought we would be the pirates. Never mind. Sorry.
No, we're attacked by the pirates. Well, we are the pirates, but that's our cover story.
Just so we're all on the same page, to keep the stories the same when we get questioned, if it gets to that point. I mean, if we say that our ship is inoperable, maybe they'll take us on board. Theirs?
Sure. Go in.
Maybe.
Kill everyone aboard and take their ship. Easy peasy.
If only there were some way to figure out if they were actually going to touch down on this asteroid or not.
Well, I don't think we have to land on the asteroid.
Well, listen, I
Blow up the asteroid.
not to, put any kind of damper on anyone, but I do not trust our ability to talk our way into or out of anything.
What do you mean? I hear the cat got improved charisma.
I didn't, but come on! I'm super charming. Captain's magic, kind of makes me even more so. I buttered up Talmrin real good by speaking her old funny common. Surely anybody aboard this ship, I could do it. Now, granted, it may be complicated, and if they're Azlanti, they'll be naturally inclined to kill me because I'm not a human. But
That is a problem.
But But here's another thought, okay? What if we land on like the underside of the asteroid, right? Kind of hiding our ship, wait for them to come, and then sneak out, blow them to smithereens from our hiding position in the asteroid.
I
We
don't
don't
think
want
there's
to. We don't want to blow
Unfortunately,
them
there
up
is
to
no underside in
smithereens.
Yeah, I should say I don't think an asteroid has an underside.
Well, I mean, everything has an underside.
Oh, like it.
Just whatever side they're on, we'd be on the other side.
I suppose the asteroid is rotating through space. Does probably not standing still.
And even still, like, do you mean the underside, like the farthest one away from?
Oh, you know, I just thought they would come
the
over
station.
here and we'd be in the rock and under here. Yeah.
Well, we could just keep the asteroid between them and us.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean Murphy does have good piloting.
I do. I'm even better at it now.
What I was thinking was that we wait until they make the handoff, and then we send a ground team that has hidden on the asteroid, because individuals are much easier to hide than a star. Just as a general rule.
I mean,
And
they
the
are
ground
smaller.
team, they hold everyone else at gunpoint. And then we commandeer the vehicle.
And then, so what's the plan B if we're sitting waiting on the asteroid and we see them transferring in space?
See, that's why I said earlier that it would be really good if we could figure out if they were touching down on the asteroid.
Why don't we look at the asteroid and see if there's signs of people that have landed
that's
on it?
pretty smart. Get close to it, do some
Like,
scans.
Some burn marks.
Burn marks, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, can I pilot us close enough to the asteroid to get into scanning range?
You can.
Maybe
So
even
you
closer
are.
than that.
Yeah, I mean, you can get. How close do you want to get?
I'm thinking to try to analyze surface
Just like-
conditions.
Okay.
A couple hexes
Yeah,
away.
you can easily do that. Somebody give me a science. A computers check. Probably Shardik. You're the science
Shardik.
officer.
Okay,
Give me a
science
computers check.
I will computerize it.
19.
Okay. So you were able to get a pretty good image. Now I need somebody to make a survival check.
Murphy's not bad at survival. Murphy will do it. He's looking at these
So
scans.
I'm not sure we've rolled. Okay.
16.
I will. It doesn't matter if I aid him or not.
You can certainly roll to aid.
Oh, I'm not trained in it. Never mind.
Okay. You're looking. Yeah. So you do not notice any obvious indications of regular takeoffs and landings.
So maybe no.
I mean, would an asteroid even have those types of signs?
Sure. I mean, depending on what kind of engine they were using, certainly if they were using a fuel-based engine, it would definitely char the rock if they had to lift back off again.
How cragulous is the asteroid? Will we be able to fit a ship in there and hide it relatively, or is it just like a smooth, rocky shape?
It is not smooth. There are crags or crater. Well, crags. You want more of a crag than a crater. That your ship will literally fit in.
Okay.
I
think we hide the ship on the asteroid at the very least.
It would be dangerous to try to fly into an asteroid. You might bonk your ship on the side of the asteroid and, I don't know, explode.
If you weren't an ace pilot, you mean?
But there's at least you can definitely find one that you could fit your ship in. And if they're not looking for you, they're not gonna. It's not, you turn your ship off. They're not gonna obviously see you. You're gonna have to find a way to see them if you turn your ship off. But
I mean, could we disable everything but the scanning, the sensors?
sure, that is certainly a thing you can do.
I do wonder, though, about activating systems. 'Cause I feel like there's a thing about
It takes like
how long
an hour to activate.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
How long does it take to crank the ignition and get the engine?
Just to remind me.
Starting your thrusters is 1 minute per size category.
So that's like
That's just
30
thrusters,
minutes.
but
Just to remind me, we know that the relic is making this handoff in this area, and then they will be entering the drift again to go to Gulta, but we don't know if they're doing it straight after the handoff or if they are going to a different disembarking point.
right. You don't have like a complete flight plan. They were the Glimshar pirates were, I mean, roughly trying to plan what you're doing now. Like, if we attacked this ship to take all its stuff, what would we want to do? So you have the relevant, or either you have the relevant information, you have the, so you are not, it is entirely possible that they're going to go meet with 5 other ships or something. You just know that they are definitely soon. Actually, you know the time that they are, they don't have a time that they're expected specifically at Gulta, because it takes XD1D4 or whatever, 1D6 or whatever it is, days. So, but they're not expected in 2 months. So they could do something else relatively quickly, in a couple of hours, maybe.
So how do we know that they're definitely arriving in 6-8 hours?
Hand waving.
Okay. I was really wondering about that.
No. I think they sent a message when they got into the drift of, this is our approximate arrival time.
Yeah.
And it managed to arrive before them or something.
It took a shortcut.
Yeah,
there's like
you literally can't plan travel times. So like every time an AP mentions a flight plan, it's like it's not really a plan. It's,
well, you can say we're
in
going
really
to-
any sense, because you only know your destination. You don't know how long it's going to take you or how you're going to get there when you're in the drift. But
at best, it's plus or minus 3 days.
yeah.
At best. At worst, it's like plus or minus a week or 2.
But I bet the Azlanti are so exacting and demanding, they expect people to be here at this certain day. So like a canny pilot will anticipate that and be like, oh yeah, we're going to be here 10 days from now, and it only takes like 1d6 days to get there, so they have plenty of time. Otherwise, they'll probably get shot.
Maybe this is the last possible day that they could come.
That too.
This is day 3d6. This is day 18.
Days. Yeah. Cool.
So, is our general plan now to land on the asteroid, hide the ship, hope they transfer the cargo on the asteroid?
No. Because we don't know that we're doing that. I just simply said that it would be nice to know if they were. And it would be silly to assume that was the case.
Well, we could hide out on the asteroid and at least observe best we can, keep the sensors up and running, to see what happens and kind of evaluate. We either go with plan A and assault them while they're making the transfer on the asteroid which we are hiding currently on, or if they're doing the transfer in space, we lift off and make our assault. Let me land a ship on an asteroid, please.
Or we can land on the asteroid and then send out. But Ozzy does not like our bluffing.
You like our bluffing?
Ozzy does not like our bluffing.
I just don't think it has a great chance of succeeding. Me, Ross, personally.
I mean, we haven't done a very good job with bluffing in the past.
Our track record is not hot.
But, I mean, maybe it's the law of averages. This is the time it'll work.
Maybe this is a Discworld 1,000,001 chance.
Yeah, improbability drive. All right, I'm gonna land this ship on the asteroid.
He's gone rogue.
Now,
Yep. Since there's still a few hours before they get there, I figured I could take my time and maneuver slowly and, thrust her just a little bit to one side and correct, and then slowly find a cave and cavern to descend onto the asteroid.
so if it's that difficult for a good pilot to do it, what are the chances that mediocre cargo pilots are going to land on the asteroid?
That's a good point.
You
According to
are
my scans, they're not
you
landing.
are
So probably
specifically landing in the asteroid. This is not landing
Just on it.
on the
Okay.
asteroid.
So that's what is difficult, is trying to land in a crater or something.
And not running into the sides of this relatively small crater. So give me I will note you do have to turn off your shields to do this. So give me
No problem.
a piloting check.
All right. Okay. Here we go. 22.
Okay. So, nope. I dropped a d6.
Oh no.
You begin to actually. I need to know how many. That may have been a crazy amount of damage, based on how many hull points your ship actually
We have
has.
55 hull points.
55. Okay, that's totally reasonable. You begin to bring the ship in, and it turns out it's a little tighter than you thought. So you initially you clear the lip, but almost immediately after the lip, there is just an outcropping that you didn't expect, and you bang into that. And then it's really simple. You overcorrect and you hit the other wall again. And then you are after that and some explosions inside ship.
Fuck. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, to the
the ship takes 10 whole points of damage.
Oh no.
But you have successfully arrived.
Perfect.
I'm so mad at you right now.
I'm sure it will be all worth it in the end. How do we repair damage?
That's a thing the Starship Engineer does.
Yeah.
There are actually some mechanics tricks, I think,
If the crew's on its own,
you can take to help that.
Let's see. It requires 5 hours of work. What's our ETA until?
About 5 hours, I think.
Yeah, at this point, you're just a little over 5 hours. You do don't you
You
need
need UPBs. and I don't know that we have
UPBs?
any.
We
Do
don't
you
have,
have
any
any
UPBs.
UPBs?
We do not.
Okay.
No. Fuck.
Well, that
Maybe-
might be an issue.
Yeah.
We should probably get some of those.
Well, if we're doing a Mayday plan, at least now our ship looks like it.
Oh yeah. It's authentic. All right. So start turning off the lights to make it more concealed and keep the sensors on.
So,
Okay.
is
So-
our plan to what is our plan?
So
That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
Wait and observe.
So, we're going to say that our hotshot pilot got us stuck in a rock.
Do you think that getting us out of here is going to be just as successful as getting us in?
That's gonna be easy peasy. You just go straight up, no problem.
Ugh.
I swear I'm an ace pilot. It says so on my character sheet.
And that was more directed at this whole situation.
So are we sending out a distress signal, or are we waiting? And then if they rendezvous on the asteroid, we go out. And then if they rendezvous in space, we start the engines.
Personally, I think that if we're going to do the distress signal trick, we should probably try to do it before they reach this place, even though that does mean that we'll have to bluff our way through the cargo handoff.
Wow,
just
we don't have
because it's a little bit too convenient that we're at their rendezvous point, if you ask me, and we don't know who's going to show up first.
Huh?
Or what happens if they show up at the same time, or any of that stuff.
Ooh, space map.
Same space map.
There we are.
But whatever.
Nice.
I'm working on 60% fuel today, so
Yeah, I mean, we wait here. If they're coming to the planet, we'll go confront them, or come to the asteroid, we'll go confront them. And if they're in space, then it's not the distress beacon and see if they take the bait. Easy peasy. You don't need to overthink it, just you gotta learn how to improvise, how to adapt, and I think, by the way, we have the superior firepower in the situation, if push comes to shove, we can, bully our way into one of the ships.
But we're not supposed to damage the...
Disable. But you're the captain. I will defer to you before I launch the nukes.
I mean, if we attack the ship, will the cargo be damaged?
Radiation.
Way to guarantee it wouldn't.
Radiation might be a thing, but
We agreed to give what's her name the cargo. We didn't guarantee that it would be.
the
She
condition.
She expressed that she would desire the cargo not blown up.
Won't be blown up, just irradiated.
When you asked, I will clarify. When you asked her, she expressly said she would prefer that you do not shoot the transport ship because you would likely also damage the cargo. Which is obviously true. If you are blowing holes in the ship, you are probably going to damage the cargo, just as you are damaging the ship that is carrying the cargo.
Technicalities.
You would, well, Murphy should know that. Whether he pays attention to these things is an open question.
It's a character choice.
I can, or we can use the computer's skill to create a forgery, right?
Yes, that is that's like a forged document,
Right.
I think. But what are you thinking?
Oh, I was just thinking, basically forger a Azlanti distress signal. Try and make it as convincing as possible.
That is a thing you could do with a computer skill. Yeah, you could attempt to alter essentially try and get it on an official channel, or forge a like military to civilian, or even to civilian. Yeah, that's a thing you could do with a good computer's check.
I think that would be something good for Chardic and me to put our time into.
And should we be on this asteroid, or should we be a little bit away from the rendezvous point so we're not directly where they expected to meet?
I think the further away, the better. Well, further in the direction that the relic is coming from.
I think that's probably our best plan, right?
Works for me.
It's not a great, it's not 100% plan, but I think it's probably our best one. If it's the ship we're trying to commandeer that arrives first, we'll have to go through the entire trade-off process somehow. And if it's the other ship, I guess either way we'll have to go through the trade-off process if we catch them right when they get here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What if we just blow up the other ship? No,
How would that help?
You never know.
I mean, so if
We blow
relic
up the
shows
other
up
ship,
first,
we steal their transponder, we disguise ourselves as them, and we do the
no,
transfer.
we have to. It has to be relic because they're scheduled to be at Gulta.
Right, but we blow them up, we impersonate them, then we talk to the relic, and then we
And then
get
blow them up.
their shit. Yeah, and then we impersonate them, and
And then you take over the Gulta, and then you impersonate Gulta.
the longer that this session goes on, the more I feel like that is the best idea.
Blow it up.
Maximize carnage, maximize points of contact.
Is there a way we can talk to them after the trade-off?
I mean, we could bluff our way into it. After the trade-off happens, say like, help, fellow Azlanti. We've been stranded on this asteroid. We request your immediate assistance. And, have them come on over to our asteroid, and then we, have them come aboard. We kill them. We go back aboard. We take their outfits, then their helmets. Azlanti all wear those full covered helmets, right? So we take some of those, dress up like them, come back onto their ship, and then take it over. Right? Easy.
How about after the trade-off,
Mm-hmm.
we send them a distress signal as if we had just come into like visual contact with them, like our sensors are down or something like that, so we couldn't see other ships. So
Sounds good.
we came into visual contact, sent them a distress signal to help us. We've just been attacked by pirates. They might be just behind us, kind of. Well, then they may not want to help us.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'll do the talking, and we'll get them down here onto the asteroid and do it.
What do you think of that, Ozzy?
I don't have any better ideas.
Resignation. I love it.
So that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna try and see if we can't stay as far away as possible.
Okay. So you are going to leave the asteroid.
Yes.
Forge in Azlanti communications. Forge in Azlanti communication. Yes, no.
Yes.
Okay. Wait for the handoff, or you're not sure.
Wait for the handoff.
Okay. And then after the handoff,
We're going to like pull up in rate, like we're going to be like outside of visual range, or I guess scanners don't go that far, do they? Like scanners
depends on the scanner.
I don't think that our...
Ours are like short range, aren't they?
Yeah, you have short range. There are ships that have long. What would be on a transport ship? I mean, transport ships don't generally need gigantor scanners, but you never know. Maybe the captain really likes scanners.
Is visual range farther than our short range scanners?
No. I mean, like, technically, yes. But, like, you'd have to use something to enhance it to really... Or, like, you'd have to fly in front of the sun, thing like that. So, practically, unless they happen... Okay, the answer for your purpose is the scanners are better. The literal answer is if they happen to be looking out of the window with the telescope, they could actually see way than the scanner.
So we'll like approach
just like we can see Saturn
basically after the trade-off, as if we had just gotten in visual range or whatever, and could send them a direct.
And you're going to act injured. Okay. This is the plan that everyone agrees on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shardik?
Sure.
Okay.
Love it.
And we're being chased by... We've been attacked by pirates.
Okay. Plan understood by GM. First thing, Murphy, roll me a piloting check.
No problem. 28.
28. Okay, the DC was not a 30 this time. You are able to slowly, because you're not in a hurry and you also know what you have to avoid, you are able to avoid all of the crags and you're able to get out without a scratch that wasn't already there. You reactivate your systems, which takes some time. And you move to a point that is away, so the opposite side of the asteroid from the direction you know they're going to approach from. Is that what I understood?
Mm-hmm.
So that they are not passing you. Okay.
Yes, that would be good.
You do that. You are now in that location in space.
And Ozzy and Shardik are going to be forging an Azlanti distress signal.
Yeah, so I'm going to need a computer check. One person can make one, the other person can aid. Anyone can aid, actually.
You don't need to be
will,
trained.
Yeah, you do need to be trained. So,
Okay.
and if anyone can give me a convincing explanation of why they think they should have a bonus, I will entertain that.
Well, I already got my the aiding check.
So who aided and who
Uh,
rolled?
I believe Ozzy aided and I rolled.
Yeah, I
Yes.
called it
Okay.
before I rolled.
18.
Obviously, not ideal, but
It would have been better the other way around, but you can never know that.
Okay. So, and nobody else is helping?
I cannot.
Is anybody else trained?
In
I cannot either.
computers, yeah, Murphy comes in there and types some things, types some code and words in there that makes it sound extremely distressing. Like it's very, very urgent that this is going in.
This is not the distress signal. This is making it look
like the Azlanti. I've spent some time killing some Azlanti, so I feel like I know what their distress signals should sound like and should be crafted to do. So,
Is it possible that there's any data to mine on Cheru's former data pad?
Sharu.
Huh.
Yeah, take
Yes.
Sharu's data pad and look through it and be like, hey, look, this
Yes.
looks like
Okay.
It's my data pad now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice, Sharu did.
So that'll give you a +2. That gives you a total of a 22. Okay, you are you are pretty sure that this is good. Remind me to come back to that after we go off stream. Okay, so you believe. What are you doing here to make this look Azlanti? Are you piggybacking off of an official channel? Are you making it look like you're are you an Aeon Guard supply ship? Are you just another supply ship like theirs? What's the technical angle here?
Maybe we're like a military contingent that apprehended a ship going through Azlanti space, but then were attacked by vicious pirates. That way, if they notice that the Red Abbey doesn't look like a typical Azlanti ship, they won't be super, keyed in on that. We'll say we acquired this ship, but then were attacked ourselves.
Okay, so you're broadcasting on like an
Official
Azlanti official military channel.
Yes.
Copying and
Okay.
pasting official protocols.
Yes.
Okay, great. So you do that. You feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
So now your plan is just to sit and wait.
The trade-off
So
is-
are you going to turn any systems off in preparation for this? Now, you think you know when they're going to arrive, so you could wait. You could go ahead and get ready now. What do you want to do?
I think that we should wait a little while. You just, until it's less crazy. Or rather, when it's about time for them to show up.
What systems are easy to pick up on a scanner? Any systems? Like do we have to turn all of them off to be like invisible, basically?
If you want to be like really, so you could probably keep life support on, which is good. Life support is analog. If they're really searching for you, you will turn everything off. But then also, if they're really looking for you and you have the right stuff, they can just look for which you can't hide unless you to die. So definitely you can keep life support on. Anything else really can be detected though. I mean, engines absolutely. Obviously, the drift engines are off, but you want to turn off your thrusters. You want to turn off your shields. You don't want to be shooting your laser guns. That's a giant neon sign. It kind of goes down from there. Like, yeah, you can turn, like, literally, if you have any lights, probably turn those off because you could get really unlucky and could just happen to hit them. Your sensors are not the most obvious thing, but if they're, you can definitely pick up a scan. So it's really kind of up to you.
I think we would probably turn off everything except for life support and sensors.
Yep.
Once the time comes.
Okay. So you are waiting here for about you have about 4 hours. Let's see. All right. So about 3.5 hours later, you pick up just at the edge of your sensor, because that's your plan, a ship. Now it's just kind of a little blip on your sensors. You can make a computer's check if you want to actively scan it, knowing that it's possible that they could detect an active scan, even at the very end of sensor range.
I don't think we scan them now, right? I think we wait for the trade-off. And then try to guess which one to scan to minimize the scanning.
Sure. Hold on scanning.
All right. So it's all of 15 minutes later, just at the edge of it, and not the same edge. It's, I don't know, 45 degrees and 45 degrees, roughly. Right at the edge, and it sort of passes through your sensor range, heading toward the other ship. Just moving, not really in a hurry, just being a ship, but moving toward the other ship. Eventually, ship number 2 meets up with ship number 1 in space, and you can see, I mean, at this point, they're literally just like dots on your display. I imagine you even have your display brightness turned way down, just because it kind of gets you in the mood. It's the 2 dots, 2 different colors. One is stationary, the other gets very close.
Are they in space?
And they are in space and stops.
So when they depart from each other, we're gonna have to scan one of them.
Yeah, it would probably be a good idea to scan them now. They might be distracted enough that they wouldn't know.
They're initiating the transfer.
Yeah, so we'll wait a couple of minutes for them to start moving things, I think.
Okay.
And then we'll give one of them a scan, I guess.
Yeah, and we should be able to tell from that which one is which.
Okay. So you're going to give it a couple of minutes. It only takes a couple of minutes. And the two ships move until they are basically the same signature. They appear to have docked with each other.
Scan now.
Yeah. Do we want to scan the one that showed up first, or the one that? Can we even pick that?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like you can't get that fine-grained. You're just gonna have to kind of scan the area.
I guess we will do that, right? To know.
Fine.
Well, so the thing is, like, we have to send out this distress signal before either of them leaves. Because if the relic leaves first, then we're in trouble. We don't know when the relic is supposed to leave.
That's true.
So we have to send out this distress signal to both ships. And then
Live
what?
broadcast. They
Um,
respond.
And we get both of them to come.
Nope, but then we gotta shoot them both.
Yeah, I mean, you
That seems like a
know
bad
that
deal for
spooling
us.
up the drift engine takes, I think it's a minute, right?
Mhm.
It's very fast.
Well, we want them to dock with us. That's our primary goal. We want the relic to dock with us.
Right. We don't give a shit about the other ship, right?
If only we knew which direction the relic had been.
Hmm.
You do. You definitely do.
Well, we did. Too late now.
I mean, now that you have said that, the relic was definitely the first one that showed up. Now that it occurs to you that you know the direction it was coming from, it was definitely the ship.
All right, that's groovy.
Also, we know which direction. Well, we don't, I guess.
Scan and then send out the signal.
Well, we know which ship was which now because they figured out the puzzle.
We
Right,
can't tell at this rate.
right.
Do you want me to scan anyways?
Or we could just send the signal straight out to the relic. Not to the other one, if that's possible.
Send them a personal distress signal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, drift engines require a ship to be stationary with its thrusters turned off for 1 minute.
With its thrusters turned off?
Yep.
So, like, it's really vulnerable at that point.
We've been asked not to attack the ship.
Could we get to it and board it during that time, though?
We'd have to get to their shields if
That's
their
a whole,
shields
yeah,
were
we'd have
up.
to ditch our really elaborate ploy of being a ship under distress, so we'll,
Yeah, after all that damage, you intentionally did our shipment.
exactly.
Like,
We don't want that to go to waste.
Like, you did a really good job with that. I was very impressed.
And it's very, very realistic.
So are we going to send out a distress signal to both ships?
Well, yeah, but wouldn't the ship that's not being able to go into drift be more likely to show up? To
Yeah.
ships we don't want.
I think we fucked up.
This is fine. So Patrick, they are currently undergoing the transfer. Are we able to confirm that?
Yes, they are currently in physical contact with one another.
What if we jump in
Jumping
now?
into the drift right now would destroy them both.
Okay.
What if
That
on
is
them
not
now?
why I was looking that up.
Right. And the
Because
relic is unloading the cargo, right?
That is what your information says, yes.
It's going that. So we need the cargo that's getting on the other ship, but we also need the relic itself.
No. Because they are taking a bunch of... They are dropping, like...
Not all of
She's
it.
not asking for anything in specific. She just wants all the loot. She, you know... You find a treasure chest, you give it to her. So, like...
So, my thought...
Because remember, they're delivering a bunch of supplies to
the relic is.
Yeah, to Gulta.
Okay.
So they are obviously not unloading all of their stuff.
Okay. So, that... I say we send the distress signal just to the relic and try to lure them into us. Let the other ship fuck off. You know, deal with that. Hopefully they just fuck off and they don't hear anything, they go away. And we just lure the relic to us. Yeah?
After they finish transferring cargo?
Toward the end of their cargo transfer, I'm assuming it's going to be wrapping up soon, we send them the signal over.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, wait for it, and then signal go.
How long does it take to, like, decouple a ship?
That would be... I mean, you have done that. You have to do it slowly, not a crazy amount of time. Like...
Would there be
know,
enough time for us to
an hour?
turn on our engines?
less than an hour.
Turn on our engines, get over there, and try to board them while they are still stuck together.
I mean, if you want to do it literally now, maybe.
We'd have two
But
ships
you're
to
gonna have to
contend
do
with
it.
then.
Now.
We would definitely have two ships to contend with in that case.
They couldn't have their shields on.
Yeah, they could all kinds of shit. This way, if we just try to lure the relic to us, then there's a chance that the other ship will just go away.
Can we broadcast directly to just the relic?
Sure.
Sending out a distress call
Okay.
on Azlanti military signal to the relic.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Captain says yes. Let's do it.
Okay, so you are
Waiting until they are finishing
waiting.
the decoupling process.
Okay.
Like they're wrapped up with their cargo transfer.
Okay.
And then
So
send the signal
you,
just to the relic.
you wait, and eventually the two dots, just a little bit, you can see a little bit of darkness. They have separated.
Okay.
And then
Signal.
they each start moving at normal thruster speed, slow thruster speed, but they start moving at slow thruster speed away from each other.
The signal is broadcast out. Hit it, Bearman.
Okay. Somebody is going to have to make a bluff check
So are we like...
to send the actual message.
Murphy steps up to the intercom.
So wait, hold on. So your whole plan of like showing up a little bit on the edge, are you doing any of that? Or are you just sending the message?
Well, we are on the edge now, right?
Like,
We're on the
no,
edge of
yes.
sensor range.
So you are on the edge. Like, are you gonna are you doing anything other than just sending?
We're trying to make it seem like we're disabled, so I think we should just sit where we are, stay put with our systems down,
Yeah.
send the signal out.
Okay.
And Murphy will step to the intercom too.
Okay.
Try to convince them.
Okay.
And he probably
We're-
goes...
we're-
Well, go ahead.
It's
We're pretending to be Azlanti, right?
Mhm.
Can I modify the audio so it sounds like an Azlanti is talking and not a talking cat is talking?
Do some warbling.
Yeah. I mean,
Modulation.
that would be. Give me a computers check.
Maybe this will give a bonus to the bluff roll.
Ooh, nice.
Well, there's a
If you
computer.
roll well enough, and a 26 is good enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Murphy,
So-
you will get a +2. I don't know.
Circumstance bonus.
Circumstance bonus
So I'm,
to your bluff check.
All right.
Would anybody else like to do anything that might help?
he's gonna get his +1.
Could
Um,
I screw with the power core and make it basically give fluctuating power output to make it look like malfunctioning?
Yeah.
Make an engineering check.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
+4 circumstance bonus.
I would also like to
Um,
aid his bluff
okay.
check.
Okay.
Um,
What do you want to do to aid his bluff check?
Such is the question.
I mean, you can do like a talking thing if you want. Just tell me what you want to do.
Can I like coach him on like pretty much what we want to say and try to like iron out the finer points of our distress signal with him?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a bluff check.
God,
See if you get a 10.
Direct me. This. Ooh,
Oh, a
yeah.
24.
I better well keep up with all this.
Okay. So that's up to a +6.
Okay. Does the spell give a different type of bonus than a circumstance bonus?
Let me check.
'Cause then it'll give me an extra +1 on top of that.
Zyson, is there anything you would like to do?
Hand me a drink.
Encouraging words.
It is a circumstance bonus.
I need all of it to keep myself together right now.
I'll give you the stack. Can have the
+7
the,
now.
the extra +1, yeah, because these are all basically aids,
Yeah.
aid and others with other, so a 7.
Okay.
Zyson, anything you can think of that you would like to do?
Not so much in this.
Okay,
Let me take a
Stabby
swig
stab
first.
person.
You could
Murphy.
like be screaming in the background, like, "Oh, I'm wounded!" Blah blah.
Yeah. That's good. Screw in the background. Just moan
Okay.
and yell.
You
It
could,
has, like,
yeah. I
an
mean, that'd be,
Atlantic.
and you don't have to be trained in bluff. Like, you can just roll a bluff check.
I am a little bit.
Well,
So I kind of come in the intercom.
Well, let's let Zyson. Are you actually going to do that?
Yeah,
Okay, an
I'll
11 is good enough. +9, Murphy.
Okay. Come to the intercom. Calling out for all nearby Azlanti vessels. We've commandeered a ship that was invading our glorious empire. But we were set upon by brigands and pirates from nearby Station Z, requesting immediate assistance. Please respond. And +9. God damn it!
Okay. So,
It's no automatic failures in a skill check, right? It's a
There are
19
not.
on natural 1. God damn it.
so a 19. You transmit this message, and you see. I didn't make a token, and it doesn't really matter.
So we could have had 30, a 30, and we got a 10.
Yeah.
I bet it was
No.
DC 20.
Like, my bonus to bluff is +9, so it's 9 on top of that, so it's +18.
So
We could have had
the
a 38.
ship scans you immediately. And a minute later, you get a message in return that says, this is the transport vessel Relic. This is, of course, in Azlanti. Please confirm your identity. We to assist.
The Barazad.
We're the former crew of the Barazad. We were beset earlier, and we need assistance as soon as you can send it. Please respond.
We do have their transponder, like, on our ship, right?
Can we
Yeah.
activate the transponder for the Barazad?
It should just be always on, I think.
Or the Royal Venture?
I assume it was the Barzad. I assumed you turned that off, because that would be weird, but you can turn it back on if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Flip.
The ship responds and
Can we
says,
flicker it on and off for a little bit?
our scans don't show an Azlanti vessel, but the code checks out, and it begins to approach.
Turn the comms off. It worked, guys. It worked.
And as it
That remains to be seen.
as it approaches your actual vicinity, you receive another message that says, please prepare for boarding. We will have all of our crew available at the docking area. We will see you very soon, and we can attend to any injured you may have.
Oh, they sound so nice.
Oh, we are going to kill them.
Okay, turn off the ghosts. Okay, shit. All right, everybody hide. Get in ambush position. As soon as they come on here, we ambush them. Okay.
Ambush position.
Fuck! Gets the laser pistol out. Let's go. Goes to hide somewhere and in.
And are we planning on killing them?
I don't see how we can avoid it.
So
None of us
They're
are human.
civilians, right?
there is a choomph as the Relic's docking bay connects with your docking bay, essentially. You hear a whoosh of air, and then the door opens.
Yeah, can we hide?
Yes, you hide. Everybody give me stealth checks. Why don't you? Yeah.
His eyes gonna be sticking out a little bit.
Zeisen 13.
Zeisen, your
Pretty,
turn
I'm
is showing. Your turn is showing. Oh no.
okay.
Oh
Okay.
no.
So Yulia got a 9, Sharda got a 12. Okay. I'm gonna assume you turned the lights off or something.
Yeah.
So-
shut everything down.
The airlock cycles, and you can hear the air of the two ships mix. The door opens, and that's what we're going to pick up with next week.
Shit.
Oh my god, it worked.
Ah.
All right.
So, it was a DC 20. I gave you a 2 for, making your ship actually look damaged.
Nice.
Also, the
Inadvertent
computer's
circumstance.
check was a DC 21, and you got a 22. So you beat them both by 1.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just barely.
So I said that 11 was very helpful.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
every
oh
little
no.
bit counts. Every little bit counts.
Moaning in the background is what
I feel
pushed
like
it
with
over
an
the
11,
edge.
he's not a very convincing actor.
Okay, I feel my confidence has been restored. I had no idea what the fuck we were going to do this week. But now that that's out of the way,
I didn't either.
yeah, I had nothing.
It's like, I mean, you totally can just like blow them up. I mean, not blow them up, but you totally can just like shoot them. It's just not the best plan.
I mean, I still don't know what we're going to do about Shardik and at the prison.
We're gonna
Oh yeah, that's
figure
a
it
whole
out as
other
we're gonna do.
thing. You kind of
I can be the. Oh, we're not transporting
You're-
a prisoner, are we?
Yeah. Like,
No.
I mean, it's
We
not like
can
the rest
put
of you
you in
look
a
like
box.
Azlanti either. Like
It's
at
gonna
that
have
point,
to
it's gonna
go
be
in
too
a
late.
cargo box, I think.
you may have to be in a box. So another more humiliating shit for
The
sure.
best.
All right, sweet. So we'll go and kill all of these people who just wanted to help us next time on Really Playing Games Starfinder against the Aeon Throne. Hands up!
It's okay though, because they're card-carrying space Nazis.
They are civilian space Nazis.
They're not civilians. Told us that they were still part of the military.
No, they're civilians.
Oh, okay.
They're civilians. This is a civilian transport. They're-
Well, I asked
No
you
one
that
gets to stand
earlier.
on the sidelines of
Yeah, he said
Face
they were
fascism.
civilians.
They are ethnic Azlanti. They are, in the Nazi analogy, they are Germans. They are flying the Nazi flag, but they're not like members of the military.
They're just supporting the military.
But they can still be.
Yeah, there is no such thing as conscious capitalism. Break the system.
Yep.
By shooting the system.
Yeah.
This game's getting really political. So does this mean we're Antifa?
I mean, you are kind
So-
of like rogue agents.
Get your
I remembered
masks out.
something. If we ever get into space, my shiny new rifle is not going to be able to do shit.
Is it like a fire thing or something?
No, it does sonic damage.
Oh.
Sonic doesn't work in a vacuum.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, I'm glad I remembered that.
Well, fire doesn't work in a vacuum either, right?
Well, things can still do heat damage, and that's basically what fire is.
Lasers do not work against invisible, which is not how invisibility, like magical invisibility, would really work.
Well, you can
Invisibility
stop
is
lasers
an
with a fog
illusion
cloud.
spell, right?
Yeah. So how it should work is basically just erasing you from everyone else's mind.
Right.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
That's enchantment. All right. Yeah, that ending was pretty great. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I finished converting the adventure that I was working on. Yeah. So anytime that we need a filler episode, I'll be happy to run.
Excellent.
Yeah. Level 1. Although I could just I could make it harder and allow higher levels, but I think that as learning a new edition, it's better just to start at level. Whew. I'm gonna go calm down.
Okay.
Good job. Thanks for running, Patrick.
Yep. Night, everybody.
Good night.